Well, bienvenida and a warm welcome, pool fans, to this sparkling arena at the Gandia Palace Hotel on the stunning Mediterranean coast in Spain. This is the Predator Spanish Open, the last EuroTour of 2025, and it's 10 ball. You join us for the winner's second round and an absolutely tantalizing matchup between Stefan Casper of Germany and Petri Makkonen of Finland. This will be a race to 8. Few additions to the format which I'll bring you up to speed with. My name is Gethin Davis and we'll be bringing you the proceedings for this match. And the reason I say this is a tantalizing matchup is because we got to see both players on the TV table yesterday in their opening matches. Stefan Casper took a very useful win over Viktor Fortunsky, and this man stepping up to break now, Petri Makkonen, had a very dominating performance over Azdar Nazarov. Now, on paper, for the EuroTour, you would probably have Stefan Casper as favourite. This year, making some great results in the EuroTour, including a first place, 2/3, and 2 seconds even. So, has been performing very, very well at this event. But Petri Makkonen has the ability to turn up and take the cheese. So he's made a very useful break after winning the lag. Players will have sets of 2 breaks each. It will be alternate between the 2 sets. Breaking outside the box. Well, there was options for Petri to go safe there, but in this opening rack he's gone on the offensive, made a great shot on the 1. And it didn't take him long in yesterday's round 1 match to get into his stride. Looks like it's taking even less time for him here. He needs to be particular on this 4 ball though, as there's a bit of traffic around it. Well, there seems to be a gap into the centre pocket, which he's picked out very well. Yeah, good early signs for Petri here. Yeah, didn't need to do too much, just to float low on the 8 ball, which will give him natural shape across for the 9. And where that 9's positioned, he will not need to do too much either for shape on the 10, and good early signs for Petri Makkonen. And with the caliber of his opponent, the best policy is to keep him in his chair, as Petri Makkonen makes short work of his opening rack, leads by 1 rack to 0. Will have a second break now as well of his set of 2 breaks. So Casper will return to his chair. And yep, we saw Petri turn up for a European event last year and won it in very convincing fashion. And I haven't really heard or seen much of him since, till he arrived here in Spain. And this time, not making a ball on the break. So it'll be the German, Stefan Casper, up to the table for our first look at him. And as I said, this is the 6th EuroTour of the year. And, well, Stefan has picked up a first, a gold, 2 silvers, and 2 bronze. So he's 5 medals from the 5 events preceding this. Would ideally love to add another. Wasn't any attacking options on the 1 ball, so has put Petri in a bit of trouble. Looking at the 2 rail escape around the 9. Makes good contact, but a cushion needs to be hit, and I don't believe a cushion was made. Stefan just checking before he moves the cue ball. Good. Always wise to do that. So ball in hand. Good early rewards from the first safe of the match. Both players are going to need to be keeping their safety game very tight on each other. And Stefan Casper was also on the TV table yesterday while Petri was playing his match on this table. And he had a very good win over another tough opponent in the opening round against Viktor Fortunsky. His brother is playing currently on table 2, which is being streamed also to you through ProBilliardTV. And he will be taking, or he is taking on rather, Fabio Rizzi of France. And that one is being commentated by my dear colleague Mark White. However, back to the action. Stefan has looked to put Petri in trouble a second time. And there was a very small danger of that cue ball dropping. It hasn't. And still, Stefan not really any closer to an out here, so it's going to have to try and keep Petri in trouble here. He's just looking at where the 7 is positioned. Is there a carom? But I think he was more looking at it to block the cue ball and leave it down there to great effect. The 1 ball has come around and the 8 has come to block him. Possibly. I was going to suggest the blue 2 was hampering the 1 rail escape. And it looked like Petri called the 5 for some insurance. Played it very delicately, and look at the cue ball here. Oh. It was tracking up towards the pink 4. It has left Stefan a look at this 1 ball into the top left corner, as you can see from this camera angle. He's gonna possibly run into the 5 ball. Well, he makes the pot, but he's left with an edge of the blue 2. May be able to roll off, come off 2 rails, or look for the 1 rail. And I'm not too sure he's got away with that, with the cue ball contact in the 6 there. It's left Petri an edge. Well, He avoided the 7, which has allowed the cue ball to run on and out of position on this red 3. I feel if it had contacted the 7, he did have a long 3 past the 4. Well, that's in the first rack. And his first opportunity. Petri's going on the offense and makes a great bank. He's just having a little look around the table. 6 position from the green 6 up to the 7. Ooh. He's got a bit of an angle. Might have to force this a little bit to ensure that the 10, sorry, the 8 doesn't come into play, and he has. So another good opportunity, and this is imperative for Petri really to win both of his opening set of 2 breaks. Avoids the 8 on the way down. Ooh, glances past it on the way up. And I think there's enough room there for Petri to work with. I don't think he wanted to get that close to it, but just has to be a little bit more particular now with his cue ball control. And no sooner said than done, and that cue ball has come round behind the 10 ball. Petri having a little mutter to himself, anywhere but there. Now was looking for a 3-rail escape there onto the 9. Was really in a tough spot, and this is an early Christmas present for Stefan. And what looked like Petri Makkonen running away with a 2-0 lead has actually turned into 1-1. Bit of a disappointment for Petri there. But Stefan took it, took the opportunity, and now we'll have his set of 2 breaks. So we'll be looking to keep momentum as we just take a look at our other table, as I mentioned, being hosted by my good colleague Mark White. And once the score is updated, I will bring you updates throughout the match, but still early doors over on our other table. Fabio Rizzi of France taking on Mitsko Fortunsky. Back to the action here for Stefan Kasper's first break. Well, balls are flying. Nothing looks like it's dropping, and Petri out of his chair. Didn't take long to get out of his chair there. Just having inspection of the blue 2. Looks like it may pass into the bottom right. Yeah, he's got a bit of travelling to do with the cue ball. And he's reaching over the 5. Both players under a shot clock, by the way. It's not a shot clock on our screen, it's a shot clock by the adjudicator. And so Petri just looking over to ask for the extension. Well, if the 2 didn't go, he's played a great shot to open it up here. If it passes the 7, he might prefer it, but it certainly looks tight for him. And a little nod from Petri there. I think he may not have had the whole pocket and was trying to squeeze it round the left edge. These beautiful Predator arc tables, as stunning as they look, they're not forgiving to the player. Makes for great excitement for us at home. Okay, so the 9 looks like it's left enough of a gap into the corner pocket. And these balls are very nicely situated for the German here. And Stefan doesn't normally show much expression, and also not too flamboyant in his shot making. He is just extremely consistent and does seem to be peaking this year. It's been a joy to watch his development through this EuroTour series. As I mentioned, he has picked up a first. He also got a second in Italy at the Longoni Italian Open this year, and 2 thirds in Estonia and Austria respectively. So really getting some great rewards from the EuroTour. And Predator have been putting on a great show for us at home. And with this 10 ball to take the lead and still have 1 break in the bag of his set of 2. Good start for Stefan. 1 mistake from Petri is all that's in it so far. We have a lot more matches coming to you today as well. This is the opening match of our day 2 as we look out over the star-studded arena here at the Gandia Palace Hotel, just under an hour south of Valencia, in a beautiful location on the beach. Mediterranean life, great pool. Players have been having a great event here, and also the preceding event. We had an 8-day event before this EuroTour, the same venue. The Little Monster series of international opens, and also what turned out to be an absolute amazing event, the WPA Predator World Junior Championships. All of their matches are on the ProBilliardTV website. So if you want to look back at some of the great games, please do at will. And if you're enjoying them, please do like, share and subscribe. Now after Stefan's dry break, Petri didn't feel that the 1 was on, and has looked to put Stefan in a bit of trouble. The 2 ball has come into play. However, if he decides to jump, he's got a good thick edge of the 1 ball to aim for. Looks like he's found a gap for the 2 rail. Oh, and just... well, he's not missed that by far. But that will give ball in hand to Petri, so rewarded from his safety. And we'll be looking to bring this score back to level. It is a race to 8. Little mini breaks can really start to make a difference in this format for the 10-ball EuroTour. He just needs to center table for this 4. As where the 5 is, he's going to need to bring the cue ball potentially down towards the 6-9. Yeah, so doesn't want it to roll too far. Center table, has that come far enough? Well, perhaps a little thinner than he would have liked, but shouldn't cause a problem. Came up and down the table. It's going to still need to move the cue ball a little bit to get round for the 7 here. Oh, and in having to force the cue ball to get it around, he's missed the 9. That's his second mistake, but this time the 6 ball has kicked into a very favourable position above this centre pocket. Looks like it's against the cushion. Stefan just having a closer inspection. A ball does need to hit a rail after contact, so important to know that piece of information. Oh, not a bad attempt. He looked to bring the cue ball behind the 8 there. There wasn't much of a space at all to leave it. Not more than an inch away. Good distance between both balls. Petri walked away quite quick to get in his chair. I think he realised that cue ball was running a little bit too much on the wrong line. Now, Casper. Oh, I wondered if he could see the potting angle. The 10's stopping him, so he's calling the cross bank. Awkward cueing over the 7. Well, he's not made it, and I think, to add insult to injury, Petri can see this green 6. Well, it was thin. Petri fancied it. Didn't make it. 6 balls come out to a similar position to what Petri found it in his shot. So now it's Casper's opportunity. Makes it and avoids the 8. So that cue ball is tracking down lovely for the 7. Still needs to get into this to get shape on the 8. And has played that very nicely indeed. And, well, Petri making a couple of mistakes, missed pots, also maybe getting a roll or two. And Stefan Casper of Germany will be very happy to see the scoreline extend in his favour here. And he does. He takes a 3-1 lead, winning both of his breaks. Very important in this format. And while Petri racks them, just a little update for our viewers who are interested in what these guys are playing for. The prize pot for this event is 15,000 euros. And the first prize, 3,200 euros to the winner, 2,000 for second, 1,500 for third, 900 for fifth, down to ninth, which will be 400. So very generous prize pot for the guys here. Brought the best players to Gandia. Well, the first of Petri's set of 2 breaks, which will be his second set of 2, didn't reward him with a good opportunity to attack, so he's gone defensive on Stefan. Oh, Stefan called it, made it. Little smile as he walks around the table. The cue ball is still spinning. Maybe there was a puff of smoke come out from underneath it. But he does have shape for 2 into the center. These center pockets are tight if he elects to go for it. And maybe it's Stefan's time to go on the attack. This is certainly not the most straightforward of clearances, but he's certainly got that demeanor about him. Well, he's got the 6. Would love an angle on this brown 7 to be able to get up for the 8. Looks like there's not a bad pathway to pop the 8 in the top right. It won't go to the top left, so this is the angle he'd be looking for. And Stefan, looks like that 3-1 lead has given him something to properly bite into. And this is Stefan Casper that has been so successful at the EuroTour in 2025. Well, he's looking a bit nonchalant, and that is because he's on the 50-yard line with the 10 ball. And he's done all the hard work in this 5th rack. Calls the bank, makes the bank. Well, that's fantastic. He put himself in a real pickle there. And Stefan has pulled out a great bank on the 10. Sends a message to Petri. You make any mistakes, sir, and I will punish them. But on this occasion, Stefan did all the hard work himself. And now Petri returns to his 2nd break. We'll be really looking to get something happening here. Well, Petri just looks like he's getting a bit fed up, and I don't think he can really complain about rolls or his opponent. It can only be the small holes he's dug for himself, so just needs to maybe get out of that frame of mind. However, he's not really left Stefan much with reaching over the 8. But you feel if he can put Petri in a tough spot here, well, it looks like he's calling it in the center pocket, but if he could put Petri in a tough spot or keep him away from the pots, he may just start to be his own worst enemy. Well, Casper deciding, I'm going to leave Petri in his chair to stew. Well, he looks to finish off this 6th rack. And what a strong message that sends out to Petri, winning both against a Petri break. Not bad at all, finished quite straight. Can drag the cue ball back up towards himself here. Needs to be careful with the corner pocket. Never a danger. And where the 10 ball is, even if he is straight, you'd fancy him for this 6th set, and well, getting to 5-1 will really ask some questions of the Finn. And there we have it. He didn't even give Petri the opportunity to get back to the table, and takes a 5-1 lead, and now begins his set of 2 breaks. And I just want to say a big thank you to our tournament director, who's just informed me that I have given the wrong information on the prize pot. I was looking at the women's event. The event info for the men, well, it's even better than I let on. The total prize money is €50,000, with the first prize of €6,000 to the winner, 4,600 for second, and 3,000 for third. My apologies for any confusion I've caused. As we get back to the action, Stefan Casper begins his set of 2 breaks and is making balls. But look at that 1 ball. The good news for Casper is that there is a 3 and an 8 at that end of the table, which he may want to aim for with the cue ball. And then he can bring the 1 down the table. He's going to use the 8 for the 1 instead. Would have liked the cue ball to come the left side of the cluster. I think the 1 rail escape is on for Petri here. Wow. What a shot from Petri. I don't think Stefan saw that coming. What there is, though, is a difficult cluster on the 4, the 5-9, as we see Petri lock himself up on the 4 with the 6. So he's going the hard way in this seventh rack. He called the 4 along this rail, and it's heading that direction. Oh. Well, if there was a worry that a rail wasn't hit, the 4 did catch the corner jaw. But although Petri nearly potted it, he didn't have anything on the 5. So it was always going to be an uphill battle. However, this isn't a bad leave. Stefan has the 1 rail escape to pot the 4, the value in potting the 4. Well, there's a lot of room between the 4 and the getting anywhere to look at the 5. Had to go for it. Would have ideally liked to pick up a rail before it hit the 4. And the cue balls followed it down into the corner pocket, ball in hand, Petri, and where that 5 is, well, there are good options for safety. He's just having a look if he can get the cue ball in there and perhaps pop the 5 in the bottom right. Position for the 6. Will take some doing. Well, he's played that in such a way that he's brought the cue ball round the left of the 10 to have a look at the 6 ball in the top right. Well, it was a difficult 6. Petri felt that he had to attack there. Played well to get on the 6. Hasn't left the 6 too bad for Casper here. Just a gentle roll up behind the 10 is the order of the day here. And where the 9 is, does block the 1 rail escape. So Petri being forced to go round 2 will have called the 6. Fantastic hit. Oh, and it's very unfortunate to not bring the 10 into play there. And Stefan finds the gap. More importantly, finds a nice pathway to extending his lead to 6-1 in this race to 8. Cue ball. He would have liked the cue ball on the other side of the 9. However, can force it round the angles for the 10. And well, from the form we saw Petri in yesterday and Stefan yesterday, you always felt that this match could be a very tight, close affair, or the odd roll and mistake would allow one of these guys to run away with it. It has turned out that way so far. Petri will be looking to turn that around. As we just look at our other table between Fabio Rizzi of France and Micko Forczynski of Poland, they're locked at 3-3 at the moment in their race to 8. So 2 great matches that we've been able to bring to you for our opening of day 2. It's a 4-day event. Another good break from Stefan, making balls, but still not getting the nicest of shapes on the one, although we've seen Stefan go aggressive. But not this time, and that's a very useful safe on Petri Makkonen here. Stefan just asked our referee just to step in and have a closer look. Yeah, legal shot. Great hit by Petri. He's made a couple like that. Very difficult to guarantee how you're going to leave your opponent. This time, Stefan has a good look on the one. Well, he has a little problem with the 9 and 10. Quite a few balls to get through to get there. But certainly something for Stefan to think about. He does have a nice shape on the red 3 here to maybe do something to develop them. He also just had a little look at the combination on the 9-10, so may prefer that. Played that very well. 10 has stuck around to hamper his cueing, but a good look at this pink 4. Yeah, and again, Stefan Casper taking the mature option there, even with the scoreline, showing full respect to the Finn. He knows what Petri can do. And that's a useful escape from Petri. Still left a good look for Stefan on this pink 4. And Stefan really banging on the door of getting to the hill. Ooh, yeah, a little hand on the table from Stefan. Was looking to use the object ball, the 7 and the 8, to slow the 4 down so he could bring the cue ball behind the 9. Has left the gap for Petri, and this is, as I was saying, the respect Stefan was showing Petri. This is the reason why he will pounce on mistakes. And jumping on mistakes he is doing. Well, Stefan won't be too disheartened, but Petri will get that glint in his eye. And whilst bringing the score back to 6-2, we will change breaker. And now Petri Makkonen of Finland will have a chance, if the momentum is shifting his way, to get his break working and start to get this scoreline not just looking respectable, but looking healthy for him. Hasn't got much room to work with here. Needs to make it happen now. The 9 ball's knocked the 4 in. That's not a real good look on the one ball. Is Petri attacking this? He is. Not the easiest of cuts. Makes it well. Has a little look to see if the blue 2 will pass the 7 from our overhead. If there is any pocket to see, it'll be on the right hand side. Oh, I do love that angle from our cameraman. And that is now looking like a good opportunity for Petri here. And as we saw in our opening rack, Makkonen is a very cool customer. And also is very cool in his shot making and decision making. And when his break is working as well, he can run racks for fun. And that is where this alternate break format with 2 breaks each comes into play. Can just snuff out the momentum for players of this caliber. But in this case, Petri's going to return to the table for his second break. What a great break and run. Brings the scoreline back to 6-3 as we just take a look at our schedule for the day. The 2 matches being played right now. Our match here and Ritzy Fortunsky on our other table, coming up at 12 o'clock, about 45 minutes from now. Ooh, Mateusz Snegocki takes on Ralph Suke. What a great lineup that will be. And it looks like, coming in live, Felix Vogel also taking on Pachelia. Felix Vogel just coming off the back of winning the World Junior Championship on his birthday. Had to dig deep and grind in that match. Great performance, well done Felix. As we come back to Petri, he's got his break working. And at a must time for him. Maybe has just finished a little funny on the 3 for easy position on the 5. He's just having a little think about it. You could see a bit of expression on his face. Well, he's not done that bad at all. Yep, delicate shot just to keep high on the 6. Yeah, just taking a little bit of extra time on this. Maybe he didn't finish high. Yeah, was looking to maybe push it off the long rail to get over the other side for the 7. Couldn't, so he's had to take this longer 7 on. Makes this trickier. Well, not a problem. Now a Finn is looking like he's going to take his 2 breaks quickly and convert them into points. 6-2 has now become 6-4. And this match is heating up nicely. Stefan gets out of his chair. He will be racking now for his set of 2 breaks. And, well, if he converts them, he'll take the match. But if he doesn't, well, Petri's break is working, and he may ask a few more questions of Stefan. So this match, looking like it has got a lot more life in it than we thought. We just took a look over our other TV table as well. The score is still locked there. It's gone to 4-4 between Ritzy and Fortunski. And, well, wouldn't you know it, Stefan very melancholy as he returns to his chair there. Probably felt at 6-2 that things were going his way. And lo and behold, sat in his chair for the last 2 racks for the majority of them. He's now facing 6-4 with his opponent at the table and looking like he's in stroke. Elected to come low on the red 3. And where that 4 ball is positioned, or rather the 6 blocking the 4, it's just going to make this position a little more tricky. He does have a little angle. Oh, he's done that very nicely. Wasn't much room for him to leave the cue ball to have shape on that 4. And Stefan must be sat in his chair wondering what's hit him for the last few racks. And this is what Petri's capable of. Certainly not one to feel the pressure. But more importantly, certainly not one to feel like he's out of the match at any point. And well, you have to say, this is a bit of turn of events. It feels like only 5 minutes ago we were talking about Stefan running away with this. 2 Petri breaks, 1 dry Stefan break, and the score is back to 6-5. Petri just 1 behind now. And Stefan is back for his second of his set of 2 breaks. Probably wondering what's hit him. Certainly he'll be wanting to put a big break in here and get to the hill, and then asks the question of Petri's break. Wasn't too sure, perhaps he's just taken a quick comfort break as we take a look over at our other table, being hosted by my good friend and colleague Mark White. And this is another tough matchup. Fabio Ritzy has taken a 5-4 lead over Misko Fortunski. Other big matches going on right now. We've got Alexandra Kazakis of Greece taking on Max Benko. Max going very deep in the World Junior Championships, making the final. And if you want to keep updated with our scores, fixtures and times for matches kicking off, please do visit the EPBF.com website. That's the European Pocket Billiards Federation, where you get all of the scores, player profiles even, and all the historic Euro tours that have taken place. And if you are enjoying our stream, please do like, share and subscribe. And there are plenty more matches coming up for you, not just today. We're only on day 2 of day 4 at the Spanish Open Euro Tour event. We have our next round of matches coming up in 35 minutes on these TV tables. While we just wait for Stefan Casper to return, I will just grab myself a glass of water and I will be back with you in a few minutes. Please don't go anywhere. We will find out the culmination of this winners round 2. And Stefan Casper returns. This will be the second of his 2 breaks. You join us for the culmination of this winners round 2 match of this Predator Euro Tour 10 ball, the Spanish Open. Stefan Casper was 6-2 up all but 10-15 minutes ago. Petri Makkonen taking advantage of both his breaks and breaking one of Stefan's. He returns to the table now, Stefan Casper of Germany, eager to convert this break. And the 1 ball failed to go in the corner pocket. And if from our overhead there is a gap for Petri, you're going to feel this is a good opportunity for him to bring this match back to all square. What a turnaround. Well, I think it was a good play by Stefan to take the break there. Just try and upset the momentum a bit. But on the 2 occasions he needed to make a good break, they've just eluded him. He's just having a look at the gap that he's got for the 5. The 6, you feel, may need to go in the same pocket as the 5. So he's just looking for the right position off the 4 ball now. Oh, did that cue ball slow down? I'll tell by his reaction. Oh. Ooh. Do you know, I think he has just come short and is going to have to do it something a little bit creative. He's called the corner pocket, may have to swerve or even cushion first. So this is a big shot for Petri here. Didn't make the pot and didn't make the safe. And well, Stefan may not have expected to be back at the table with a shot on this 5. He is. Will this be the chance that he's been looking for across the last 4 racks to get to the hill? Well, you have to feel from this position that Stefan will get to the hill first. And that will, if he does, bring Petri back to the table for his set of 2 breaks. Stefan Casper of Germany gets to the hill first in this race to 8. Maybe not in the fashion he was hoping to. I think he was expecting to be on the hill earlier, but these 2 titans of the game are not going to give each other any respite, and they will take advantage of every mistake you make. But that is not a bad position for Stefan. Petri in a must-win position, but as we've seen recently, his breaks are really starting to take off. Well, on this occasion, he's broke dry, left a little cluster with the 10-6-8. I'm wondering if the 6 does have a pathway through the 2. If it does, that might make this pattern look attractive for Stefan. Well, Petri's done everything that he can to get back into this match and give himself a fighting chance. Needed the break to continue for him, and it just hasn't on this occasion. Now, if that 6 isn't playing nicely for Stefan, he does have a good opportunity to run off the 4 and maneuver them. Always a bit of danger in maneuvering balls. But it looks like that's what he's done. And if he can get a good full ball contact, or even slightly high on the 6, he should leave himself shape on the orange 5. Well, as from this angle, thank you very much, production team, that 6 does look like it'll go through. And that will be very handy for Casper here. It does indeed. It goes through there clean as a whistle, and well, as long as he can get good 8 to 9, we could see Stefan Casper progress through to the next round. This is still double elimination. We're in the winners round 2. So it will not all be over for Petri. But I would expect both of these players to go deep. It's a shame they have to meet each other now, but it was inevitable. Both of these players contenders for this EuroTour. But it looks like on this occasion, Stefan Casper of Germany will just snuff out Petri's comeback here. And does indeed. Stefan Casper shakes the hand of Petri Makkonen. Petri will be a bit disappointed there, but full credit to Stefan. He dug deep, he held in there, and he delivered at the time that it mattered. He will progress through to the next round. Petri Makkonen will move over into the losers group and will have another chance to get through. And coming up on our two tables next in 25 minutes will be a matchup between Matthias Schnegoczki and the Kaiser Ralf Suke. Great to see him at this EuroTour event. And on our other table will be Felix Vogel taking on Pechel. Another good lineup with an in-form Felix Vogel. On our other table, the action is still underway between Fabio Rizzi and Mitsko Fortunski. Fortunski looks like he's just took the last two, so is now in the lead at 6-5. So a couple of racks still to go in there. Please do join the action, and please do return for our next match. My name's Gethin Davis. Thank you all for joining. We'll be back in just over 20 minutes.